This is the Healey Brothers Show.
Welcome back to the Healey Brothers Show. It's me, Nicky Paraggio, and Jason Healey. Today's just going to be a quick thing to talk about some, market changes, which is a lot oriented towards EVs and plug-in hybrids right now. We'll get to that. GM's strategy, which is related to that same topic, and some, future plans within Healey, whether it's how we're going about these market changes, or even just so we can run them off at the end to tell you guys at the time of year some of the events that we have coming up later on throughout the year. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is it's the industry changes and GM's pivot. And GM's pivot is really because of the market's demand and the consumer's feedback right now on electric vehicles. The sales have plateaued. Remember when we talked with Bob Kim about this, he mentioned the same thing. The sales have kind of plateaued. They've slowed down a lot, and they're realizing consumers like the plug-in hybrid things. So GM is pivoting some of their strategy towards plug-in hybrids. Granted, I know they're not completely, because she was talking about, like the CEO of GM was talking about the Equinox EV and that they think that's going to be a big thing for their market, so on and so forth. But they're pivoting back towards plug-in hybrids by, I think it's like 2027. So what are your thoughts on that, and in terms of like how it affects us as Healey, being that GM is now pivoting back towards plug-in hybrids?
All the hybrids, and I mean every OEM right now has changed gears and became less aggressive on EVs. Are they stopped making EVs? Are they still pushing to the future? No, EVs are the future. So they slowed down the forecast, and it's not just Chevy, it's Hyundai, Kia, it's all the brands transitioning. They need to make a hybrid vehicle, hybrid plug-in to fit the demand. You can't just keep making cars if customers don't want them. It just doesn't make sense. My personal opinion, I mean, I said this multiple times, like Toyota did it right. They really track the demand of the consumer. They've had the right vehicles, and that's why they're a top brand, if not the top manufacturer in the world. But Healey's stance on it is, at the end of the day, we'll sell what we need to sell. Do we think that EVs is all the way in right now? No. Is it the future? Yes. And we love an EV product. We think their technology is great. But the hybrids are key for us right now. The customer wants the best of both worlds. They don't want to feel like they have to charge their car all the time. And they also want the safety of having gas in it. And this way they feel good and they have the right product. You get the cool technology in both ways. Phenomenal gas mileage for a great price. And the manufacturer could produce them at a high level.
Yeah.
So overall, it's a win-win, and that's where we are right now. Our strategy's been on that. I mean, up here is even tougher where we live because we're big truck country. So the EV truck doesn't really work for a big part of our buyers.
What even is the Lightning's range? I don't even know.
So let's say, I think they say it's a couple hundred miles, but let's be real. The guys up here that we have workers, and they're using their trucks.
Yeah.
They're not a lot of the times they're not for show like some other places where you see like in North Jersey where they have those nice trucks, and I don't think there's never been anything in the bed.
Nothing being used in them, yeah.
But I mean, the stance with EVs, I think Mary Barra is onto something there.
I can't remember her name. I felt bad.
She's great, phenomenal. Yeah. She's a great CEO. But the change and the slowdown of building EVs is great, but they do have some EVs when I saw in Vegas that are priced to actually crush it. They're priced so well. Their Equinox is priced for the everyday consumer. They're not $60,000, $50,000, $70,000 EVs that you're trying to get a person making $40,000 to afford. So
I can't think of what the adjective she used in one of the articles you sent, and it was basically about saying how the Equinox has been a staple for them and for consumers for the last 2 decades.
Yeah,
about being an affordable crossover. So within that, obviously, she didn't say anything about the price of what an Equinox EV is going to be. But it was her basically saying that it's going to be like the same type of concept, that it's going to allow the Equinox EV to be affordable like the Equinox has been in the past.
Yeah, exactly. So they hinted that to us. Yeah. They kind of gave us the range. So, I mean, who knows what's going to come out. But Chevy right now, they're positioned, if you look at their model lines where they compete, they're phenomenally priced. And that's why they're doing so well right now. They smoke Jeep. They're better priced than Ford. And that's like their main competitors in our area. So it's awesome to see. I mean, if we had more Equinox and Traverse and those cars,
it'd be cool.
If we just had those, we would never, we'd run out of cars every single week. So I think this shift to hybrids and the plug-in hybrids is the right move. Slow it down with the EVs, give the customers what they want, and you can keep product moving. And you're also not fighting with that customer on the change. Sometimes change happens slowly. It doesn't just rapidly happen all the time. So just give it some time. And either way, like I said, we'll adapt to it as a dealer. We do what we need to do to survive as well, so we make it happen.
Yeah, it seems like the more we even talk about the plug-in hybrid thing, the more articles you send us about the plug-in hybrid thing.
They don't stop.
It's not ending.
Yeah.
Every one that you've sent, there's something about, and it's usually about GM's strategic plan for it. Because the other thing which she was talking about it, which I don't know all the details of it, you might, if you want to answer this, was about the tailpipe emissions and something else by 2025. There's a certain thing that these automakers have to meet a criteria by 2025.
Yeah, there are still things they have to follow that
so
are like
that
funny.
was the plug-in hybrid. If the demand for their EVs isn't there, they need to kind of come up with another strategy to hit that mark by 2025. And I guess that's where the plug-in hybrids were.
Sometimes these OEMs panic too fast. They have a lot of smart people at that there, and they usually figure it out. They have dealers to help. We give them our opinions. So as long as they work together, they'll figure out how to make the best product, get the product to the dealer, and get it into the consumer hands. So whether it's EV, hybrid, gas powered, it's.
So now, as they've been talking about it more, have you guys internally decided to think of like different ways that you're going to have to go about this? Or is it honestly a simpler strategy to sell plug-in hybrids than it's going to be to sell EVs? Like, has Healey had to change anything up with how they're going about it?
I mean, the best part right now is the hybrids. Like, anywhere you go in the news, like if you're watching TV, if you're going on the internet, if you're on social media, you see something about a hybrid. It's all over the place. I mean, our strategy is we're pushing what we have, but so you're what are you really asking? Like, do we have to change the way we work?
Like, have you guys like internally talked about it all? Like, hey, look, EVs are, I don't know if you want to say becoming less important. Hybrids are becoming more important. We need to do X, Y, and Z to make sure.
I mean, so one thing we're doing, like, we're taking EVs. We still have EVs to sell. We're taking less EVs in and trying to take more hybrids from the manufacturer. Granted,
so you're talking about like on trade-in and whatnot.
No, from the factories.
Oh,
so
yeah, because you guys do get an
yes.
order.
Yeah, so we order vehicles from the factory. So, I mean, granted, everyone wants the hybrids. So we try to slow down the EVs because we don't want to have too many EVs because it costs us money to hold this product. Yeah. So if we can get a million hybrids, we'd get a million hybrids. And that goes for all our brands. Those are the bread and butter, and that's what consumers want. So that's one strategy. We're trying to, hey, less EV, but we'll take them for the consumers. We'll take orders, but we can't not say to that because it's good for the environment. We should have them on the ground because there are EV buyers. We want to show them to customers as well. So, but yeah, that's a big part of it is, hey, let's pump the tires on taking that many EVs. Let's get more hybrids, the plug-ins.
How big of an increase has it been that you're taking in plug-in hybrids from the factory?
I mean, we take as many as possible and we take as many hybrids and plug-ins as possible. But everyone wants them, so it's a battle for them. So the more volume you do, you'll get more, you'll earn more. Mm-hmm. It goes with that, but sometimes you got to take some cars, some more EVs to get some more of those. It's kind of like a give and take thing.
So, but pretty much it's the strategy now that this market shift has happened. Is you're just going to continue to get as many plugins as you can.
The news tells it all. It's hybrid.
Like I said, every
and then you hear about Elon Musk
us,
talk about EVs. It's hybrid.
Every email you send us from NADA is talking about the hybrids.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of those are from like Bloomberg. They're on there. Business Insider does some of those articles.
From JD Power.
JD Power does some of them. A bunch of good publications are doing articles on hybrids, the plug-in hybrids, where the demand is for these vehicles, how good they're phenomenal. It's the best performing vehicle for like these OEMs. So. We want more of them. The consumer wants more of them. The buying power is still really strong on them. So, which is like the buying power on EVs is not strong in our area right now. There's a lot going on. So, and plus they're expensive. So, and yesterday we talked about like the used EV market's getting a little hotter because you get the incentive and if the vehicle's under 25,000. So,
and don't forget they allow the plug-in hybrids to get that used credit. They don't get the new one.
The used market EVs picked up a little bit, which would help out, but the new market is plateauing and decreasing. So.
Yeah, I saw in one of these articles they were talking about.
Don't get me wrong. Like we could talk about this all day. It's gonna change.
Yeah.
It's gonna increase. It just comes with some time.
So we're talking about like all the changes with the hybrids and that people want them more. Like if you just want to name off like what are all the hybrids that our new like.
I mean, so we have a ton of hybrids. So, I mean, you have Hyundai's got the Tucson hybrid, which is like I'm a fan favorite of. Like me and my brother love the Tucson.
Dylan has,
yeah,
right?
Dylan drives it like we fight over that car. Like it's a great commuter car because we drive so far away. But you have Sportage is like almost every line has a hybrid now. So you could list. I can go through all.
But it's now with the sales, and it's not just plug-in hybrids that are up; it's hybrids as well.
Yeah,
right?
I mean Lincoln's got a whole lineup of plug-in hybrids. Jeep has plug-in hybrids that are pretty great. The 4xe, I know everyone here Stellantis is not doing great, but their 4xe actually sells. It's a great car. It's cool. You get the Wrangler, too. So that's a cool product. It's a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, they also have the Pacifica. That's a plug-in hybrid.
Our two brands that are really, really crushing and that like I think are above. And I don't want to say that because I love all our brands and I love selling all our cars and I'm a Jeep guy at heart. Everyone knows. Is the Kia and Hyundai brands are just their hybrids just. I mean, they kick ass. They're good. They're awesome. Like that Tucson hybrid, I can't say enough about it. You have the Sportage too. It's phenomenal. They're
Kia's
great.
taking a different approach. They're not scared to release another EV right now.
I mean,
what is it? The EV3 or the EV4? Their smaller SUV is actually going to start.
I mean,
Kia's
been knocking it out of the park for like the last 7 years. So whatever they release, I think is just
is going to do great. Yeah,
their crossovers and sedan and their SUVs are just. I mean, the Telluride, we still sell a bunch of them. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The EV9. Granted, we're not selling a ton of them, but they still sell. We have phenomenal discounts on them right now because we obviously want the EVs to keep moving. We want to keep pushing them into the community. We have a whole section now in our showroom for the EV9s, but that car is cool as shit. It's a cool looking car. But back to hybrids. I'm very high on the Kia and Hyundai hybrids.
Okay. But now we could talk about this all day because, like you said, like it's just all over the news. Like it's going to continue to be a thing. It's kind of going to be hard for us to get away from talking about it if NADA and JD Power, all of them are going to continue to talk about it. But you mentioned that we're in pickup country, right? So one of the things from JD Power and that NADA email you forwarded to us was that May sales are up, and it's due to specifically crossovers and pickups. Do you have an idea of why crossovers and pickups are causing sales to go up?
Well, first off, I mean, number one thing is they're incentivized. So there's big incentives out there right now. It's causing sales to spike, and they've built a lot of inventory. So you're getting that spike because it's the largest incentives have been in a long time. So they're starting to get bigger and bigger, but they're pretty high right now.
On what, the pickups?
Yeah, on pretty much all vehicles have incentives right now or deals. Not as big as others, but that's why you're seeing that segment pick up. They're more incentivized. They built a bunch of it. They're on dealer lots. And they want to move them. Also, new models are coming out, new year, so they have to start clearing their inventory to get ready for that.
Okay, so it was really caused by that these vehicles weren't
incentivized. I mean, simple supply
previously.
and demand. You incentivize a product, they'll move a little bit. They're getting ready for their new models. We're preparing to sell them all down, too, so we've added extra discounts because we want to clear out. We don't want to have a bunch of 2024s when 2025s are on. It's really hard to tell a customer, and they're like, oh, but... So we try to be very fair with that. I mean, granted, there's not drastic changes on most models, some minor updates, but you want to have a clean lot.
So now I'm assuming you see some of like our internal like records or whatever you want to say, like statistics of what our highest selling vehicles are. So being that you're saying like pickup trucks have just become more incentivized, those crossovers have become more incentivized. What is like the number one selling vehicles we have from those markets? Like what's the hottest product from those segments?
You have your base F-150s and Silverados, like those trucks.
They're selling a lot of.
They sell, man. I mean, they're loved. They're loved by people up here. So that's a hot product. But then you have a Tucson and Sportage. You can't keep them on the lot. Like you can't keep those two products in the lot still.
Okay. Have we seen a difference in the month of May ourselves with those four products?
I mean, so we have a bunch of pickups right now. Are they like all base or not? But I mean, we're moving. We're having a good sales month. We're on pace with what they're saying. Sales are increasing.
So we're a part of that trend.
Yes,
as well.
We're riding that. We're riding that trend. We've also
good thing.
We've also marketed. We did a cool marketing campaign this month of May so far. So has some secret gifts in it to it. We actually did an old school mailer. It has all our Healey discounts on top.
Did you really?
Has all our Healey discounts on top of it. So I'm not sure when this podcast will come out, but it'll probably come out next week?
2 weeks from now.
Yeah, so 2 weeks. So you'll hear about it. So we did that. So whoever's on, they know if they got the gift or not. But a little extra incentivized there. So I mean, we're with that trend. We'll finish probably a better May than last year. So we're on an uptick. So that's. I'd like to sell more used cars, but our new is moving good above it was last year.
Okay, that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
But now this is completely unrelated to sales. whether it's hybrid, whatever. This is.
I don't want you to jinx us, Nicky, for the end of this month. I know this is coming out before our last selling month.
I'm not trying to
our
jinx
last
us.
selling weekend. So if you jinx us,
I'm reading just an article and they're talking about the trends right now. So I just wanted to mention it.
Yeah.
But just to completely shift in a completely different manner. I know in the summer and the fall, like Healey is involved in a lot of events, right? I know you sent us one the other day. We have an email from it. I forget which one it is.
Is it Iron Beak? I mean, I sent a couple. Like the family services we're involved in.
Family services one.
So that's a really good event.
So if you just want to name off like some of the events we're going to have from now until the end of the year.
So we always do these small little events. Obviously, we have our main foundation, Healey Brothers Driven to Give. That's like our big one. A lot of we donate a lot of our own money from our stores in there, and that goes out to a couple charities that we local in our community, and we do that main fundraiser in this year is October 4th actually.
The date is set.
Yeah, so I mean we just did the veterans a couple weeks ago. You were there filming that, which is phenomenal. We're big on veterans. The one we have coming up is family services. So it's a group of people that help unprivileged kids in Poughkeepsie. They pretty much help them stay out of trouble. They have after school activities. I mean, from taekwondo to like basketball. They have so much stuff they do for these kids. It's awesome to see. So we always try to be a little bit a part of that. And then our stores over in that area also get more involved as well. That's just from a group level. Then we have I Run Beacon. So that's a big 5K that they do right in Beacon. But the main charity that's called there is I Am Beacon. So these guys started this charity to help raise money for kids, and it's pretty cool. And they run right through Beacon, and we've always been a part of that. We've always been a big sponsor there since our stores were, well, now they moved down to Fishkill, but we love to still be a part of that community. I'm even part of a committee that's in Beacon, and we still have properties there, but that's a really, really cool one because we've seen Beacon at its worst, and now it's a big difference. It's really up there, and it's amazing to see, and for these guys to still in there like helping like they do is always good to be a part of it. So
do you remember the exact dates of those two, the family service and I Run Beacon? I think I Run Beacon's in September.
Yeah, I Run Beacon's I want to say September 29th, so the day after I get married. Then
are you running the 5K?
I don't think I'll be running the 5K. So we're gonna have to have some coverage that day. I'll be there in spirit. Then I want to say the family services is June. Don't quote me on this. We'll look that up and put it on the screen. I think June 24th. I want to say.
Okay.
It's close. And that's like a dinner to see everyone. I want to say some of our managers will be attending that, but I have to confirm with them. But that's another cool. They put on a great.
And would it be the managers from Poughkeepsie?
Yeah. I believe like one of them will go or GSM will go. But either way, that's like a private event. It's for them because we donated. You get to see what they do. They talk about it. And it's really awesome to see what they do for this community in Poughkeepsie. And Poughkeepsie's, I mean, we're a part of that city. We have 2 stores there. We love it. We want it to grow and always get better and obviously help the kids because they're the ones that are going to be there and help that community grow.
All right, cool. So I just wanted to mention that so we can just make some snippets of this so we can kind of have our consumers or our viewers prepared for what's going to be coming for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, just to summarize, I do think, I mean, Healey's always willing to adapt. Obviously to the EV hybrid, no matter what they throw at us, we'll help our customers understand, and we want them to obviously get what they want. We don't want to force anything, but we'll get them if it's time for EVs, we'll show them the benefits of it. We'll break it all out. We'll give them peace of mind for charging. We've built charging facilities all over our properties, massive ones that charge your vehicles fast. We have phenomenal trained salespeople. Our sales specialists, I say, they're specialists. They're phenomenal. They're trained not on it with outside company, but internally and by the factory to be absolute the best specialist, like to have the most expertise on every product. They need to learn every single product in and out, and that's their job. So either way, whether it's hybrids, I think hybrids are right now and they're going to be here for a bit, but EVs are coming, and we're prepared for either one. And we'll help a consumer, no matter what it is, go through the best options that fit their lifestyle, fit their budget, and whatever fits their family's needs, if need be. So, summary of it, we'll adapt anything that comes our way.
I'm going to guess we'll wind up talking about this again because GM's going to come out with something else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Toyota will say something drastic, saying like, they're not going to build EVs to 2035, and they're going to probably change.
But we don't have to talk about Toyota.
Yeah, it hurts to talk about Toyota, but I mean, the trendsetters right now Hyundai and Kia, I can't deny it. They've been spot on for sure.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and follow us at Healey Brothers on all social platforms.